In episode 14, Karen writes about one of the most spectacular beetles in North America, the golden tortoise beetle. It can be found right here in Texas, maybe in your landscape or garden, hiding under a morning glory leaf. You'll be amazed at the physiology and behavior of this piece of living jewelry. If you like these podcasts, please consider following us. Or if listening on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. Your interest and support make these segments possible and keep us going. To learn more about Wild Texas, visit our website at www.reflectionstexas.com.
One summer morning, I examined a vine growing near my back porch. It had heart-shaped leaves and pretty blue flowers. It looked like a small flowered version of heavenly blue morning glory, a domesticated garden plant. So I keyed it out with the help of a couple of Texas wildflower guidebooks. It turned out to be blue morning glory, a wild vine occasionally found in stream bottoms, waste places, and fields. The plant was an excellent find, but what was to come was spectacular. I turned over the leaves looking for the little hairs blue morning glory is said to have. Suddenly, I was drawn to a little ball of gold on the leaf. Not gold like orange, but gold like the precious metal. I thought at first it was a golden bead, a lost bit of jewelry. But then, the tiny gold bead flew away. While I still had the image in mind, I raced to our insect guidebooks. Was there some gold-colored bug in the world? There is. The gold bug is a leaf beetle belonging to a subfamily known as the tortoise leaf beetles. Tortoise beetles are called that because their shape is somewhat turtle-like, and the elytra, the front wings of a beetle, fold over the body to form a rounded, leathery shell. In the golden tortoise beetle, our beast, the elytra, are extended outward at the sides to form a thin rim. It is almost as if the beetle wore a hard hat over its whole body. But remember that golden tortoise beetles are tiny, about the size and shape of a ladybug. I needed a magnifier of some kind to see the features I just described. And I needed another beetle. So I regularly checked the blue morning glory for more golden tortoise beetles, and I found another one within a few days and didn't disturb it. Instead, I picked the whole stem and carefully transported it to my husband so he could see this wonder. This beetle was such a pretty creature. Although tiny, I hoped we could photograph it. The images revealed that the shell was transparent and you could see its body through it. The legs and the antennae just barely stuck out from under the shell. But the most amazing thing we discovered was that the gold bug lost its goldenness before our eyes. It became sort of a coppery color. I thought it might be dying, so I quickly carried it outside and released it. It flew away. So it was not dead, just unhappy. I researched golden tortoise beetles and found out that they do change color and do so quite rapidly. Undisturbed and unstressed, happy for a beetle, these incredible insects are usually metallic gold. If handled or under moisture stress, they change to brownish-orange with dull spots. And when dead, they completely lose all of that beautiful metallic sheen. These changes on death make a collected golden tortoise beetle hardly worth the pin used to attach it to a display mat. I found a study done on golden tortoise beetles in 1979. The researcher timed these reversible color changes and found that if disturbed, the beetles changed from metallic gold to dull orange in as few as 12 seconds. He also found that the beetles could quickly return to metallic gold, particularly during copulation. He timed brownish-orange adults as they mated and discovered that they became especially happy and a brilliant, metallic gold in 120 seconds. This color-changing ability may be unique among insects. It is a structural change. Between the elytra and the cuticle below it, there is a thin layer of moisture. The beetle can squeeze this layer, reducing the moisture and becoming a dull brownish-orange. It can also add to that moisture layer, affecting the light going through it and causing it to reflect a metallic golden sheen. What a fascinating, almost magical ability. As I read more about what I was beginning to think of as a magic beetle, I found that their larvae are almost as interesting as the adults. The larvae are flat and spiny and have a forked extension on the end of their abdomens. When the larva molts, the cast-off skin isn't cast off but attached to this prong-like appendage. Excrement and debris are also stuck to the prong and cast skins. This appendage is held upward and over the body of a larva, almost like a parasol. Another name for this insect is parasol beetle. But the larvae don't use the parasol for shade. After all, they are on the underside of the leaf. Instead, they use it for defense. If a predator, such as an ant, approaches the larva, it sticks the nasty bundle in the predator's face. Not surprisingly, the ant loses its appetite and looks elsewhere for a meal. All this small-scale drama is happening outside on any morning glory plant you may have. Wild morning glories, sweet potato vines, gorgeous garden morning glories, and even bindweed attract golden tortoise beetles. Look for the telltale pepper-shot holes in the leaves where the beetles and their larvae have been feeding. And watch for the exquisite drops of molten gold that are the happy beetles themselves.
Again, please follow us on your podcast site of choice. Your interest and support help make us more visible, and more like-minded listeners can find us. We're all about getting the conservation message out there, and you can help with your support. Thank you.